Welcome to another episode of Triple KO, the post-Evo blues, some would say. And of course, in regular style, there's a bunch of news that happened just after we finished our last episode with L.I. Joe. Justin Wong, Maximilian, how are you guys doing today?
Doing great. I really do enjoy the whole fighting game news never stop venture. So the fact that that's a thing, I'm all for it.
Justin, aren't you on another planet right now?
Technically.
I'm home.
Oh, got it. The esports
in his giant ornate room.
I'm home. But yeah, I'm in Riyadh for the Esports World Cup. And so you know how you've been to Universal Studios in California a few times, right, Max?
Yes. Oh yeah.
So you know how when you first enter the place with the tickets and you see like that walkway and you see all the theme parks like straight all the way down and you got to take that walk?
Yeah.
That's what Esports World Cup looks like. It's like literally esports like buildings everywhere. And I'm like, this is really a theme park for esports. And I thought that was like really crazy because I just didn't think that was it's just really crazy to just visually see that.
Do they have a section dedicated to the Dark Prince run in Marvel 2?
I don't know. I haven't gotten that far yet.
Damn
because, every time I've gone out, it's pretty hot. So I want to make sure I stay inside or indoors all the time.
Wait a minute, you're telling me it's hot outside?
It's very hot outside. I mean, I know you guys have summer too, where you're at, but I'm pretty sure it's more bearable compared to where I'm at.
Oh, I do not disagree.
But you lived in Vegas too. Like it has to be like somewhat similar. It's like a desert environment, right?
Yeah,
Desert-y.
I think Vegas heat is very similar to like Riyadh's heat, but the temperature goes higher in Riyadh.
Really? Because it was like over, like I never experienced heat like that before when I was there as well. I was looking at the sun and just going like, curse you, Bale! Like it has to be the work of like a nefarious dragon. It was so hot, but
the sun here feels like when you're playing Mario and that sun is trying to
it's like chasing behind you.
That's what it feels like. Yeah, that's what it feels like. I think
the sun is constantly 3 feet behind you.
Bro, today it felt like it was 125 degrees.
Okay, that is hotter.
Yeah, that's egg cooking territory.
Yeah, I was hurting.
I really wanted a bit in Vegas where I could film myself drinking like a carton of milk and say that drinking this was a bad choice. Like, but I never had the opportunity because I'm sure like as soon as I took a carton of milk outside, it would like the box would just explode or whatever, or whatever receptacle. I really wanted that bit. It's funny that you mentioned esports world though, because I think like slightly before or around Evo, I read a report saying that someone is considering making a thing like expanding Vegas out to possibly have like an esports themed like a hotel or another smaller like building or something like that. Like there was like these plans, like someone's considering it, like maybe we can build out Vegas a little bit more to like incorporate that. Did you guys hear about that at all? Or
esports arena like outside of Luxor stuff, right?
Yeah, but a better version of that.
Oh, okay.
I heard that many times that Vegas wants to do more esports stuff. The thing is, they just don't know who to talk to or how to get it started. There's many a time like esports arena in the Luxor is the closest thing that Vegas has for like some type of esports facility.
Okay, because I wish I'd pulled up the article, but it was like 2 or 3 weeks ago where I saw that and I was like, oh, that's cool. Like literally like esports like Disney World or Universal where it's just like got themed rides and stuff. Oh, the perfect music would be Marvel vs. Capcom 2. It would just be playing it constantly.
You know they're trying to build over here Dragon Ball theme park
world. Yeah, I heard that.
Yeah. So that'd be kind of crazy actually.
But now I'm even too scared to go to like Super Nintendo World because in Japan, I don't know if it's the same in the US, but the Japan one, when I go to Japan sometime in the next couple of months, that's just like you need to buy the tickets. Like you need to buy the tickets before all the rides were built. Now,
yes,
like you have to get them so far in advance, and the lines are so crazy now. Like it's only gotten more popular because I guess because of tourism, especially in Japan. But now it's like I don't even know if I can handle that at this stage of my life.
You are not wrong. If you can reserve, you always want to reserve because Japan is like, everyone's a fan in Japan.
Yeah.
Everything just sells out in Japan.
Everything I've heard from folks that have been to Japan or have been to like theme parks or anything like that, those motherfifers are willing to wait like exorbitant amounts of time. So if you can get reservations for anything at any point, I hear going to Disneyland is just like a nightmare because you're in line for like 4 hours for any generic ride because everyone's just so patient. Everyone's just going to chill.
That sucks. That sucks. Everyone's patient because it means you have to be patient. But it's not open now. But they're going to open the Donkey Kong Country World section.
Yeah,
and I'm like, holy! I want to go on that, especially super bad. Imagine if things were just different. Nintendo kept Killer Instinct, and there'd be like Killer Instinct Ultra Tech Facility.
This went to a place.
Yes. I don't know how did you transition into Killer Instinct after Super Nintendo?
Because Donkey Kong Country and then like Rare made Killer Instinct. That's kind of
there you go.
But Jesse, you should know by now on this podcast, KI is one step backwards after every thought.
Literally
at least
every
for
thought.
Max and me.
Marvel vs. Capcom, it's Killer Instinct. Esports Arena, Killer Instinct.
Killer Instinct. Deserts, Cinder Stage, Killer Instinct, so. But yeah, let us get on to the news. And the big one we were talking about a little bit last time is that at Comic-Con, Mortal Kombat NetherRealm unleashed their plans for the new expansion, which is, not unexpectedly titled Chaos Reigns, because at the end of that game, it was basically like the new villain will be this crazy version of Havoc. And big story expansion, a bunch of new characters, and new finishing moves, which I really want to talk about. But what are your guys' first impressions on everything that they showed at Comic-Con?
It was a lot sooner than I thought it would be. It's dropping like later September, like September 20th or 22nd or something like that. So I was kind of surprised by that because Takeda just came out, and we'll talk about that a bit. But they have like an entire new season ready to go. And just for clarification, 3 characters available at launch with that story mode and whatever changes they got. 3 characters. So, Sector, Cyrax, Famale, Sector, and Cyrax, and, Noob Saibot. And the guest characters are effectively who is getting added later. So I'm like, wow, okay, so we're filling out the roster really fast here.
I think the reason why they're doing that is just like MK1 has been just getting a little bit, a bit of a bad rep. So I think this is like maybe they're possible, like, you know what, we're trying to make it up to you. So let me give you 3 new characters. Yeah. So I think that might be the play.
Yeah, they're trying to make it appealing.
And story relevant characters. Correct me if I'm wrong though, for Mortal Kombat 11, it was like 2 rounds of DLC. And then the final round of DLC was like Melina, Rambo, and one other character. And that came with the story expansion. Like that was Aftermath, right? It was like Season 1, Season 2, and then like a Season 3, and that had Melina, Rambo, and the third person I'm totally misremembering.
Was it Terminator?
Was it? No. I think he was before that.
Which season was it again?
It was like there was a Season 1 and Season 2 of just DLC characters for MK11. Yeah. Then the last season had surprise, like, oh, here's the story expansion. Here's Melina, Rambo, and like a third character. God, no, I can't remember
was in there.
Yeah, might have been Fujin because he was featured heavily in the story mode. Yeah, I think it might have been Fujin. And this is more like the expansion right away, the story expansion right away, and the second like season of DLC. So like, yeah, they're really zooming this up a bit faster. But I guess it's because they already had the story mode kind of planned out ahead of time. And so correct me if I'm wrong on the pricing / character thing. You cannot get the 3 ninjas without buying the actual like story expansion.
And this is called not the WB-ness.
Right. Yes, of course.
Oh, so you can't buy them individually. You have to buy the story expansion.
The 3 guests will be individual. But not but not the Sector Cyrax and Noob.
That's kind of yeah. All right.
Yeah, that's kind of exactly. Jesse got the words out of my mouth. That's kind of I get it. At the same time, I don't know why you just can't make them individual, like as an option. Like maybe you get slightly a bit of money saved if you did it, but the entire expansion is something like $49. Like it's $50. I'm almost positive.
And that's where like the bit of the controversy is, because this is I think one of the few times in like a season pack history where you cannot buy the characters individually. So you just got to commit the 50, even if you just want Noob Saibot. You have no choice.
Not the 50.
It's weird because we always kind of been trained to believe that when there's guest fighters, they have to pay for that license. Like those cost a bit more to actually make versus your all original characters that like exist within the world. So like the Three Ninjas. So it's like, oh yeah, this guest character costs a little bit more. Like, the collabs or the costumes in Street Fighter 6, like Ninja Turtles and all that. Like, oh yeah, that costs money. But like here, it's like the reverse.
Yeah.
No, it's almost as if they know Mortal Kombat fans kind of want the Mortal Kombat characters a bit more than, let's say, the guests, at least at this point in time. Because what do you think the crossover is of people just going, finally, the T-1000 is in a fighting game? Like, there's not even a Terminator thing coming out. At least when Arnold... Yeah. You read what?
No, I read a lot of people were very disappointed in that that T-1000 pick. Me personally, I mean, we grew up watching T2.
Me too.
I personally think he's cool, but there is also that Netflix show coming out. That's a Terminator Netflix anime.
The anime that is true. It's coming. Max, do you know when this is coming out? That Netflix anime. It's amazing.
I have an ad for this guest character thing, but go on.
It's coming out on Judgment Day,
good.
August 29th. I'm like, oh, okay, good. You got me.
That's good.
You got me. It is.
My only backup to that as an old boomer is we got a lot of crazy boomer characters in Mortal Kombat. Oh yeah. I mean, I'm not going to doubt you. I think everybody was happy. Who the hell is a Zoomer character? Is it fucking like Jake Paul? Is it Mortal Kombat 1 or some shit?
Bro, Logan Paul, if Logan Paul was a guest character in Mortal Kombat, people would lose it.
Who would legit be like a modern era Zoomer character?
No, Lucy from Cyberpunk Edge Runners is the Zoomer character.
I guess that's a good example. But still also like relatively like niche. Still like you have to like watch the anime because she's not in the game, you know?
Yeah.
I just mean she's the closest parallel to like a character that was only introduced in the last like 5 years.
Sure, I know. I get what you mean.
That's currently available.
I'm trying to think. I'm thinking of like movies and shit, bro. Like the closest one, I guess, really is Walking Dead with Negan, but he's technically ancient, right?
A dragon from House of the Dragons. I don't, and even then, that's like from an older. Well, the novel's from 2017. The House of the Dragons.
I keep saying this. It wouldn't happen in Mortal Kombat. Bluey. Yeah, you add Bluey's dad. 100%. You add Bandit.
Would Voldemort count?
Dude,
no,
Harry
that's
Potter? The movies from the early 2000s.
Yeah.
No, that's ancient now.
God, I guess
a Harry Potter character in Mortal Kombat.
Voldemort will work though. He would work in Mortal Kombat.
It's pretty evil. He literally casts a death curse, so I get it.
I guess Star Wars. Star Wars character.
Like legendary characters. I feel like Mortal Kombat, the well has dried up. Like I feel like a lot. I don't mind a lot of them. Conan's definitely a choice. I prefer Conan over like Rambo from the first one.
Yeah,
but still, it's neat that another Arnie character is making it in, which is funny. Ghostface is not modern day relevant.
No. If they added John Wick. John Wick,
that's not bad.
John Wick is about the closest one. And dude, but the funny thing is, John Wick was literally the first guest character in Fortnite. Literally was the very first one. when they were like,
Fuzzy,
we're gonna do crossover skins. John Wick was the very first one. So it's like, he's been crossed over to hell already.
Max,
and if John Wick, go ahead, Justin.
The most popular Zoomer character you can possibly have in future fighting games, Luke from Street Fighter 6.
No, that is not. No, I don't agree with you.
So the next season of DLC will be Bluey, John Wick, and Luke.
Yeah, like that's what my question is that like, what other legendary characters can possibly permeate a Mortal Kombat roster? Which is why that question that Ed proposed on Twitter not that long ago, where it's like, should we go back and use some of our older guest characters and bring them back? And everyone's like, yes. So, I mean, a lot of people were complaining, who are these characters type of stuff. But like, give me an example of who can replace them. And my headscape is not in the Zoomer mentality. Maybe a popular TikToker or some shit, dude. I don't know what the hell's going on.
You could do Alien Predator now because the new Predator movie.
Yeah, but it's already been done.
Alien movies coming out.
Sure.
Yeah, but I would like to see the feral predator from Prey. And I mean, aliens don't change that much, but at least the new Alien movies coming out, like Terminator 2 characters, at least Arnold and MK. They've been trying to make a Conan movie for like the last 50 years or whatever.
It's the Spawn movie of movies.
Okay. So I mean, King Spawn, it finally has a title. The Spawn movie is called King Spawn, but but it's still so weird to me. Like the T-1000. Now we're going into secondary characters, like not even the main character of a particular film. Like, listen, I love the T-1000, Robert Patrick, but it's not like Terminator 2 is getting like a big anniversary, extended cut in theaters or anything like that. That I can kind of understand. That feels like really drawing from the well. I know that well is empty, like you said, but I still think there's a couple of horror icons.
The T-1000, Conan, and Ghostface, that the biggest reach is the T-1000.
I think it's the biggest reach.
Because at least Scream had a recent movie that came out and they still use Ghostface.
Bro, I don't know how we're not saying Conan.
Well, it's because Conan's hasn't been in a fighting game yet, I guess.
Sure, but like Conan from the fucking 80s? Like, really?
Okay.
Conan outdates the T-1000 and fucking Ghostface by 10 to 20 years.
But I think everyone knows that if Conan, that's Arnold. You know, they just know him as Arnold instead.
Well, I mean, That's I agree with you there. That's the reason I'm looking forward to him. I'm just saying that like, it's wild to me that like the T-1000, and I agree it's a reach, but I think the even bigger reach is fucking Conan, dude. Like, where do we pull him out of the pit?
I get it in that it's older and it's like not as socially relevant. Like Terminator 2 are arguably a bigger, franchise than Conan became in the mainstream like movie like genre. Sure. But at the same time, it's like it's a barbarian with a sword. It's at least a little bit kind of interesting versus just more gun characters.
Don't get me wrong. I am the most interested to play Conan of any character in that DLC. Conan is the one character, even of the modern like ninjas and stuff like that. I actually want to play Conan the most.
Because we get Tusk. We get another Tusk.
Yeah.
And I love Tusk. So weirdly enough, the voice actor that plays the T-1000, Robert Patrick, the actor with the voice of Ghostface, all returning. When asked, will Arnold be playing... Why does this keep happening? When asked, will Arnold be playing Conan, Ed Boon said, we don't know yet.
Struggle.
And in the IMDb, and that it can never be 100% accurate, but it lists these characters, and when people were digging, they still can't find Arnold Schwarzenegger credited anywhere. Will this be another sound-alike right now? It's like, yeah, probably. How the hell can they not afford Arnold?
It really felt like the whole reason we're adding another Arnie character is so that we can
got
get
him this time
to play him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that would be that'd be a big miss if Arnold once again comes back to portray himself in another Mortal Kombat game years later, and the guy's kind of old too. Like, just to give the dude a break. This is a weird choice. This I think Conan is the weirdest choice of all of them because, well, if we get Arnie to come back, he ain't going to sound like 25-year-old Arnold Schwarzenegger or something that was in Conan or some shit, or like 30-year-old Arnie.
But they did get him to play like Dutch in Predator Hunting Grounds.
This is a great point.
But it wasn't older Dutch. Like they did, so that there's that. But at the same time, it's like, why was that game able to afford Arnold, and like Warner Brothers can't get, they keep putting Arnold in the game, getting his likeness, but just not getting the voice a second time. It's so bizarre.
It is weird.
Sector and Cyrax being in the main thing is still bizarre to me. I don't think I'll ever like this. Even if the characters are different compared to their cameo versions, I don't like any.
Did Mortal Kombat X fuck you up?
How so?
Because Sector and Cyrax became one character.
I like Triborg.
That's what I mean.
I still think that's a great idea to this day.
Did that impression, because that was the last time they were playable, right? Mm-hmm. So did that impression of what Sector and Cyrax are as characters, like effectively combined into one character with the other Robo Ninjas, did that fuck up your impression of what Sector and Cyrax is?
Not really, because the human versions of them were so prevalent in MK9 that I don't separate. Like, so when they're humans, and obviously they just seem to be humans with robo armor over them in this version, I'm fine with that. I just mean the fact that there can be Sector and Cyrax on the cameos, just like Scorpion and Sub-Zero and Johnny Cage or Janet Cage, but then they're also certain characters are also in the main roster.
Yeah,
like
Scorpion,
I just think cameos.
Sub-Zero.
I get how they're. I get how it's the older versions of the characters, and this is the new age, Liu Kang's new universe. I totally get that, but at the same time, it's just like you could get someone else in there. You could anybody really, and it's such a minor thing, but it's still so weird to me. But I mean, their gameplay, Sector and Cyrax, looked really cool and like fresh, like compared to the stuff they did before. What did you guys think of what they were doing?
I think their gameplay looks cool, relatively fine. It's weird to me that because Takeda is super fun. We'll talk about that. I actually do not like playing any of the MK Ninjas in Mortal Kombat 1. And it's what the ones I historically love the most. So I'm really curious how Sector and Cyrax play, because they're fun, right? These are relatively fun characters in the history of MK. I'm very curious how they play, and if my feelings about like all the traditional ninjas / now cyborg ninjas is the same, where it's like, yeah, I actually don't like playing the ninjas in this game. This is very weird to me. But granted, I'm playing to be legit. I have had the most fun and am playing the most ninja character of all of them, which is actually fucking Takeda.
What did you think, Justin?
I think Max is kind of right on the money, where the ninjas don't act like ninjas. They're just kind of like really straightforward, and they don't really give me too much. So I guess I'm more looking forward to the DLC character, the guest characters, over the first 3 ninja characters that are coming out.
And the entire season I'm looking forward to more than the first season, just because it was like a lot of superheroes, right? And not even ones that I like am super into.
I
from
like
a
the guest
gameplay
characters in
perspective.
this much more too.
Even though they're weird and we're talking about their stretch.
How they're exactly. Like, but I like them more.
Because it's 3 ninjas, like Noob, obviously. I really like the edits people have done, saying the green scars that Noob has that are glowing, like they look so off, and people just change it to purple, and it looks 1,000 times better. Just black and purple go a bit better, and purple being a death associated color.
So
makes
here's
sense
another problem from previous Mortal Kombat games leading into Mortal Kombat 1. Mortal Kombat 11 Noob Saibot's design exists, and it's like the most peak fucking Noob Saibot ever. And now we give him a funky hat and give him a big glowy green chest, and I'm like, this is not doing it for me.
But he does have a better voice. The Dr. Claw voice in MK11 I was not a fan of, because it just sounded like Dr. Claw so much, and now it just sounds like it fits him a bit more to me personally. But yeah, design wise, it's not great.
Have any of you guys played Takeda?
I downloaded
combos of Takeda.
I watched combos of Max, and then I downloaded him, but I have not booted him up.
So I'll summarize it for you. He kind of sucks.
What?
But he's the most fun character in the game.
That's fine.
His neutral's ass, pretty much. But like combo routes and what he can do, like mobility wise, is insanely fucking cool. It's so cool. They gave him almost more tools than Takeda has in any of his variations in Mortal Kombat X. Like he has so many special moves, it's wild.
Oh wow.
So I like don't even care that he's kind of like hard to win with, because once you know what he does, it's over. Dude, he's so much fun though. Like, and he does decent damage, and he's relatively high execution. Like you get rewarded for big execution, which feels nice. So I'm like, oh, dude, this character is like one balance change away from being like insanely fucking cool. To right now, he's just like the most fun character in the game. And I most people kind of agree, where it's like, oh, he seems like he's busted at the start because of his damage and all this wild stuff. And then you realize opening people up is very difficult. So, and his buttons are mad slow. But, you know, dude, it doesn't matter, because when party time happens, dude, I'm having a great time. Like all this other stuff that he can do is so much fun. So it leads me to a situation of season 2, or, you know, the next Chaos Reigns season, that other characters are going to be fun like this. I really hope so, because Takeda's like, oh my God, if this is where this game is going, this is going to be amazing.
Any other examples of that? A character you guys have really liked, but it's actually like kind of sucks. Like, you like playing them so much.
Street Fighter 6 Season 1, Aki.
Yeah, okay.
She was really fun, and then, but the thing is,
I remember you saying that.
She was not on that list at all.
Yeah, I'm trying to remember.
Like, for me,
it's tough.
For me, Orchid in KI is never considered very, very top, but I love playing as her a lot, and even in like something more like El Ferrete in Street Fighter 4, was he ever considered good? Like, I know he could be annoying.
It really
he had
depends which version you're talking about.
Was,
right.
He was always annoying. And
yes.
in the last season of Street Fighter 4, they gave him a new move where he pumps his chest out, and everyone hated that move to oblivion because of how good that move was.
Yeah, he became more annoying, and then he became so annoying that people just hated him. To throw that in, Fulgore Season 1 Killer Instinct. He was bad.
Oh, yeah.
He was super bad, but I didn't care. He was just so much fun. Beam lasers and shit like that.
The hype beam? Yeah, that was cool.
Yeah, that's back when the hype beam was pretty much the goal of the character.
It was hype.
Yes.
It was back when it was hype. So the other big thing that they announced is Animalities. Now, this has been a crazy journey to get here, because well before MK1 released, I remember we had a podcast where I brought up the fact that Ed Boon had said in an interview, we are bringing back a finisher, and did not say other than that. But he's like, well, remember how in MK11 we brought back friendships? It's going to be like in line with that. Yeah. And then when we're starting to see Lee May's moveset, now she had this big energy like lion stand, right? Essentially in her moveset. I was like, oh, that's how they're good. That kind of looks like how Animalities used to look like in MK3. It was like a big, colorful, like energy, like, you know, version of that. And I was like, oh, that's what they're going to add. And then they never added it. Nope. And I forgot about it. And I just put that in the pile of Ed's a liar.
That interview was weird, because Ed like answered the question that there was a new finisher coming. And then he fully declothed and revealed his Ed Boon banana hammock and walked away. So we all thought nudialities were coming. Like, they're back. Yeah. Bro, the classic nudialities of Mortal Kombat that we all remember, know, and love, that definitely happened. They're back. We did it. But no, they're Animalities. He lied. I'm so upset.
So upset.
Yeah, I feel like you've had this bit ready for a bit. I want to talk about these nudalities.
I've been thinking about it for a while.
He's just like, you know what? Mortal Kombat is already hard to monetize on YouTube. Let's just make it even harder.
Let's make it even harder. Let's go straight to Pornhub.
You will never make money.
I just put up like general gameplay videos where I know shit. I cannot do brutalities in Mortal Kombat. I can't do fatalities in Mortal Kombat. If you kill a character, you are instantly demonetized. And I don't even have it in my latest gameplay video, and it got still fucking 18 flag demonetized. I'm like, I don't know what to do. It's so hard to be an MK creator on YouTube.
aside from that, what about the stage with all the decaying, like ripped up bodies that are all writhing? But isn't there a variant of that stage that does something? Like, I'm not sure. I remember seeing like an option, like when the last time I played the game, where that stage had a variant. I'm not sure if it got rid of the blood and stuff, but like not or colored it differently. I don't know. But that stage, when I was putting up videos of the game, I was like, I can't move on this stage. I have to go in this one corner where there's like the least amount of bodies.
Least amount of dude getting literally like absolutely destroyed from the inside out in the background.
Impaled.
Not even old MK games had it that bad. Maybe the pit.
Dude, think of like UMK3 in terms of the gore of UMK3 back in the day.
It was charming. It was like childlike.
That would make it into Disney Plus nowadays.
Yeah.
So Animalities, it was actually kind of interesting to see a couple, because it's like Animalities have been screwed up forever. Because of the lateness of Scorpion and some other characters in UMK3. When they're introduced in MK3, it was all messed up. Shiva, instead of turning into a dragon, because she's half human, half dragon, well, she can't do that, because that's what Liu Kang does. Oh, okay, so what should we have Shiva turn into? Oh, I don't know, a scorpion. She can turn into that. That makes sense. Scorpion's not in the game.
Multiple arms is what they were thinking.
Maybe. But when Scorpion, all the UMK3 ninjas came out, they were like, fuck it, we don't have no time. So they did all those little cartoony versions, like Scorpion turning into a penguin. And there's some in a recent Ketchup video where he showed Animalities I actually don't remember at all. Like, it was like the MK trilogy characters. Like
Noob Saibot turning into an anteater, you mean?
No, even go further beyond. MK2 Raiden turning into electric eels that zap your ass and balls.
Oh, that sounds kind of cool.
Do you remember that?
I don't, but that sounds cool.
Rain turns into a frog, and the frog is tiny, but then its mouth gets so big it like eats you alive. I'm like, these don't exist.
Frogs make sense.
Yeah, it makes a little bit of sense. And there's another one. I forget, but I was like, man, I never looked up the trilogy exclusive characters and what they can do. So that was nuts to me. But
Rain,
now it seems
Rain turning into a pufferfish, going inside you and blowing up is a pretty amazing animality.
Because you could go a much easier route. Oh, he turns into a shark or turns into pufferfish. Yeah. So I like where their head's at. So now you can see Scorpion turns into obviously a scorpion. Melina turning into a praying mantis,
which was a good call.
Who very famously love eating the heads of their mates, and like all of them, it's actually exciting to see a couple where it's like we don't even know who turned into what. Like there's just a gorilla on screen, like who's turning into a gorilla.
Yeah,
I think the hippopotamus is supposed to be Garrus, because the hippopotamus's eyes look like Garrus's eyes, something like that.
By the way, shout out to the NetherRealm crew having to fully animate and render realistic as fuck looking animals. This is not something that to that level of detail happens in many games. Like you'll come across a bear or something like that, and it's like some random bear in a forest, and it isn't properly rendered super well. Like these are insanely highly detailed animals. And that doesn't happen a ton in this industry, outside of like Monster Hunter shit, to that level of fidelity.
Yeah. And in the same Ketchup video, he found a clip of, I believe it was John Vogel, but an old school MK member that said, well, when we move to 3D, it's really, you can't just make a character morph into an animal easily. So you have to use like a puff of smoke or some trick. So that's what they show one of Scorpion's weirder fatalities in MK4, is when he just turns into a scorpion and there's just a big dumb puff of smoke. Like that's obviously the same smoke effect, copy and pasted a million times. Same thing for Liu Kang's 3D dragon fatality, right? So to see slowed down versions of Melina like anamorphing into a mantis, like that is a ton of work. And the Animalities, I believe, are free. That'll be a free update to anybody that has the game. So I mean,
they're following the exact same roadmap that Mortal Kombat 11 did with the success of Aftermath.
Friendships,
where like the free thing were friendships
free,
were free, you know?
Mm. So a lot of stuff there. And like Max, you said earlier, it's coming out September. So pretty much 1 year after the game. Wait, no, it's Yeah, wait, it's coming out September. So this September?
Yes.
It's not next September.
It's
Damn,
coming out.
Okay.
This is coming out in just over a month, dude. It's crazy.
That is crazy.
It's like right around the and it's 3 characters right around the corner.
Right. And then the guests are later throughout the year, probably.
But like we'll be playing the full story mode for this stuff soon. I don't even think we have a date on the Tekken story. Do we have a date on the Tekken story mode thing?
I don't think so.
I don't think so. Like Heihachi, I'm assuming the Heihachi release date, whenever that does drop, is probably going to come with the story update.
Or the last character after Heihachi.
Which would be something. My presumption, I mean, if we're getting into that chat too, my presumption was that the last character was going to be unstory related because it's like, well, Heihachi is like the ultimate returning Tekken guest character. And he's obviously the main headlining bad guy of the new story mode. So if there's another character after that adds to the story, it has to be something really fucking important, or it's going to be the guest.
Jinpachi.
That's a possibility. True ogre.
You would think that, but don't forget about Street Fighter V, where they did Gil, Seth, Luke.
True.
Hey, that was for a really good reason, though. That was because Street Fighter 6 got mad delayed internally, and they had to come up with a whole new season of Street Fighter characters.
If Luke had been like second to last or third to last, he would have gone down a lot better. But him being the final character was always like a rough move. I know why they did it.
Because I know Max, you were like saying it's like Kyo. I'm thinking like Dimitri from Vampire. I'm like, we had all these like aspiration of guest character.
Bro, I was so early on that. Like that took 4 more fucking years to happen. And then it happened. And it wasn't Kyo, it was Terry, but I was way too early on that shit.
Staying on the Mortal Kombat stuff, I'm sure at least one or both of you saw that since WB and Discovery merged in 2022, had the complete opposite effect. It became a huge disaster and they've lost billions and billions of dollars.
Good for them.
So good for Maybe canceling movies when they're done is maybe not the best idea.
All my sympathies to billionaires.
Yeah. Zaslav, good stuff. But he went on record recently saying, well, we're looking to do some things with our gaming division. Now,
including selling them.
Including selling them, which I thought, and I think most people thought like, oh, please just sell them. But it seems like there was some sort of clarification earlier today, this being Thursday. And it seems like they're more interested in licensing out the IPs rather than directly publishing them themselves. So the most minimal risk while still retaining like a profit on them. So licensing them out to other publishers to possibly like, you'll be the one to publish a new Mortal Kombat or a new, DC game, but we still retain those rights or whatever. I really hope it's just selling them. But upon further reflection, who would possibly buy Mortal Kombat? There's not that many like viable parties, and even the ones that would be, it's like I would not like that's jumping out of the frying pan and into the fire type situation. Like I would not want EA to buy Mortal Kombat, for example. I really wouldn't want Microsoft or Sony to do it, just because I don't know if they'd keep it exclusive or whatnot. And then it's like the possibility, would a Japanese company even buy Mortal Kombat? I don't think it would.
I don't think Japanese company would at all.
Even ones with like good American like sales, like let's say Capcom or even Namco, it's just like they want to make money in their home country as well. And like Mortal Kombat has literally been a non-entity since the start. Justin, were you able to find out, did Mortal Kombat actually come out in Japan at all?
So a lot of people were saying they've seen it before, but the thing is, my friend who works in the arcade business, he just said they never made like candy cabs for Mortal Kombat, so they had to export the actual like cabinets that we have in America. Awesome. So it was actually what they showed in High Score Girl, where I'm like, oh, that's an American cabinet. Like that's not like that in Japan. He confirmed that was the cabinet that in old Japan arcades had.
That must be seeing a gigantic cab like that where you can't sit down. that must be like when someone sees a candy cab in America. They're like, "Oh, cool, so exotic. Oh man, this is so novel, and I can't wait." And then when they see this gigantic, gross Mortal Kombat cabinet with the Johnny Cage artwork on the side, they must be like, "Oh my god, so fancy." I feel like, you know, I'm the king of the world here. But yeah, so I do remember hearing on Mortal Kombat 1, would be exported, but beyond that, I don't think they ever did it again. Like Mortal Kombat 2 came out, unless an arcade operator or a game center operator like specifically said, "No, we need Mortal Kombat 2." So that's pretty funny. But like, do you see any companies actually do you see any ones that would viably be like, "Yeah, I could see them publishing a new Mortal Kombat"? There's only one I can think of.
Yeah, you put the name on the coffin. I feel like Microsoft would be a entity that would take Mortal Kombat.
They're the only one. Like, long story short, they're the only one, and here's the problem: it'll never happen because they're not buying shit anytime soon. They're just laying people off to afford the Activision buy that costs them way too much money.
They're shutting down shit now.
They're doing the exact opposite. Like this is now a completely different Microsoft. Their ass dropped $70 billion a bit too fast, and it's not making them a ton of money really quick. So they have to figure out how to make money off of $70 billion, a $70 billion investment. So no, if anything, Sony.
I was going to say, because Mortal Kombat is so hyper realistic, motion capture, like it fits Sony's
brand.
Sort of MO. I think that wouldn't be too bad, but I don't know yet if Sony would make that exclusive or not. I mean, they did it with Street Fighter V out of Capcom's desperation at that time. I was thinking possibly Rockstar 2K, just because it fits with them as well. But I mean, that's not even a great solution either, because, you know, their upper management has made some really weird decisions in the last couple of years. So it's not great almost anywhere else, but it's like, WB's super upper management and crazy aggressive monetization has like over time made Mortal Kombat worse in those respects. Like Mortal Kombat 9, totally fine. And it's like Mortal Kombat X, fatality tokens. Then Mortal Kombat 11, the grind, getting all the resources and buying all those packs of resources just to grind out all that shit. Injustice 2, like, and MK1, it's stuff that it's like definitely comes from the publisher level, and it'd be nice to get a Mortal Kombat. I would say Devolver Digital, but they're like, it has to be digitized actors. You have to go back to that. Like, that's the only way we'll be publishing that under our budget. I'd love to see that personally, but it's like, I don't even think
the big
Sony.
The challenge with Mortal Kombat is that the franchise is too big. So
it's too big, yeah.
Do you think that the Mortal Kombat franchise in any way, which is probably going to come with movie rights and all that kind of stuff, is going to be distributed for anything less than like $3 billion? No one's going to buy that shit, dude. Like WB will not budge on it. WB wouldn't even put out their own fucking finished movies, which because of marketing budget, they won't budge on that shit. So Mortal Kombat's got a problem. It's too big.
Yeah, buying the whole franchise, but if they're to sub-license it to another publisher to just publish that particular game, that is sort of maybe, but even then, I don't know who would actually publish it. Would Sony be like, yeah, we'll publish it, get one exclusive game out of it, but it's still WB's. It's like when Disney bought all those studios and made Disney Interactive, and then it all fell apart. And Disney Infinity stopped selling bad, and then they said, "Let's stop this," and let's just license it out to EA. Sounds like a shit deal too,
right?
It does.
You're asking another publisher to like, hey, we need you to budget a Mortal Kombat game. Clearly, a really expensive AAA game, right? We need you to budget that. But here's the thing: you don't get to keep all the money. We're just publishing it out. We're just giving you the licensing. So you owe us a ton of money on top of spending the money. Like that seems like a WB kind of deal that nobody's going to take.
But if it's Mortal Kombat, like out of all things, like you'll still make money, I guess, is the idea.
Oh, sure. I think you will. But there's the problem is MK1 exists, and guaranteed money is no longer there.
True. But yeah, we'll see. There's been no other like real developments on this because this is just like breaking like today, as of today. So, no other. I mean, when you think about it, all of WB's things in the last like little while, like apparently the gaming division is down 43% due to primarily Suicide Squad, Justice League, Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League. 43% over last year. So it's a huge dip because the game costs like $200 million, something crazy like that. So we'll see. I would personally just like to experience a new Mortal Kombat game that is not maybe hopefully heavily as monetized as WB has kind of pushed it down, but we'll see. Are you guys, I don't think Jess is in the position to do it. Maybe you are, but the 2XKO Alpha Lab is kicking off today as of Thursday. Are you guys involved with that at all? I did not get.
I got a code.
I just got a code actually.
That makes sense. That makes sense.
But I haven't put any time into the game really. I played it like on stream for a couple seconds during Evo, but I was like interviewing and trying to show off mechanics and do everything. I didn't get to really play the game. I haven't played the game in like over a year. So it's been like a year and like several days. So I know a lot of other creatives have been in behind the scenes playing stuff like that, but I have not. The jump from the old build that I played to the Evo build was staggering. It was like, whoa, this is a lot better.
Yeah,
it's still Battle for the Grid. Don't get me wrong. It's still definitely Power Rangers Battle for the Grid with like some new spice, but it is a lot better.
Yeah.
Should Power Rangers? Sorry, go ahead, Justin.
I was like, they did add an auto combo fuse. So
that's the one I used at Evo.
For casual people. Yeah, auto combo fuse. And I played with Unconquerable, one of the main directors, and yeah, he destroyed me. I didn't even get a chance to really play.
You got to wrap your head around the game, right? You got to like.
I need training mode. Give me training mode for like a few hours.
Yeah, and dude, dude, every single time I play Triple KO, my brain never acclimates to the control scheme.
Triple KO.
Triple KO.
Triple KO.
It's a double KO.
That's what's called.
2X KO. My brain never acclimates to the button scheme of the game. It always like LMH, tag, special 1, special 2, which don't act like assists. So my brain is like all over the goddamn place with that shit.
Yeah, I agree.
That really reminds me, I meant to mention this last time, but when Leighton, like Guile Win quote, Leighton kind of gave his E3 rundown, he was just saying when he was playing Triple KO, he had gone, can you guys put in a traditional control scheme as an option? And they're just like, absolutely no, that is not happening. And he's like, I can't acclimatize to this easily. Like, this is rough for me.
For anybody that's been playing fighting games for a long time, it will be weird.
But I'm assuming it's because everything is intrinsic to that control scheme that no, we can't just add an optional, like this isn't pro controls and casual controls. Like the game isn't like going to be built like that.
It is.
It's funny you mentioned that because I was talking to James Chen today and he was talking about how he couldn't do any combos in 2XKO because he keeps trying to do motions.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Like he's just not used to it whatsoever, even though it's like,
and that's
no
what I mean.
At
like,
all. Yeah, he kept trying to do motions.
Getting your hands to go down to S1 and S2, which are on medium kick, heavy kick, and those being attached to your special attacks, fucked me up the whole time. And I kept going to the tag button, which is on light kick, which is where S normally is in Marvel 3, right? Because LMHS, this is kind of similar. The whole time, every single time, I would accidentally press tag, thinking I was going to do a special 1 or special 2. Every opportunity I've had to play the game, I've never gotten used to it. I need a training mode, dude. I have to rewire my brain.
It also, I feel like when they're making these control schemes, joystick was probably the least
absolutely.
Looked at. Like, it's mainly just
controller.
Like keyboard.
It feels like
pad.
It makes way more sense on a pad.
Yeah, 100%. So I think that was the main thing. And it's kind of like, it hurts, like, because I guess you could button map and stuff, but in terms of default, it's just like, yeah, this is not it for like traditional like arcade stick players.
And I think when you want like, a percentage of league players to make the jump and then just casuals in general, it's like, yeah, if you build for the arcade stick, that's going to be a huge proposition for some people.
Yeah, they're going to play on keyboard for the most of the time.
Yeah. every time, I don't know if this guy happened to you, but like every time I boot up Street Fighter 6 when a new character is dropped, I don't know why. Every time I play online, it just reverts back to modern controls every time. I don't know why. And every time I realize that I don't realize that they're on, and I start up online and I'm playing against a friend, and it's always for me like it's putting a square peg into a circle hole.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, why isn't the thing's not working? Because I'm doing commands too until I'm like the idiot that I am. I go, oh, it's there. I see the big C over there.
That's the accessibility of the game. And that's exactly what 2XKO is doing too. When you first fire it up and you get in and press buttons, you're on pulse fuse. So, and to be real, it's what Fatal Fury needs to do. Fatal Fury has this problem where no one's going to ever see supers and shit. So we need that game needs to start in its default, like simplified mode, or, you know, what they call it. I forget what they even call it in Fatal Fury. I always forget. But that game needs that more than anything right now.
It's called what, Justin?
I think it's called Simple.
I think maybe.
I think it might be something else, because simple.
It should be called.
Has a negative connotation.
It should be called first gear mode.
Something like that. But right now, that isn't on by default in Fatal Fury.
And then classic controls could be called Pro Gear Spec mode. 100 Mega Shock mode. Come on. But yeah, like I'm looking forward to like seeing. Do you guys know if like footage is allowed from this alpha test or anything? Like, can people just
people are streaming it right now?
Okay, I wasn't sure.
So
cool.
It's open game for everybody, I think.
So we can all absolutely hope to see some footage of this next thing, because Terry Bogard is going to be playable in Street Fighter 6 at Gamescom, which is only a few weeks away, like 2 weeks away or something. So that surprised me. Like,
yeah, really, it did surprise
he
me.
couldn't have been playable at Evo. Come on,
that is
2 weeks out?
that is a full month. A lot of shit happens in a month.
True, but excited to see. It's like hopefully in game just doesn't have the Dennis the Menace face anymore. I don't know.
No, they should go ham on it.
That.
Make it even more. Make his mouth bigger.
Give him freckles. Like, yeah, make his eyes even like a creepier
give him freckles.
Terry's gonna have the exact same shit that Ken has, where Ken looks like a fucking weirdo in most of his shots, and then from his like battle shots, his super cinematic shots, and his win shots, when he like wins and does this shit, he looks fucking awesome. It's like fucking awesome, this motherfucker, the best Ken ever. And then most of the other shots from like cinematics, from like story mode and shit, he looks like a big homeless weirdo. So this is a Street Fighter 6 thing. When they want their characters to look damn good, they really do look good. But Terry is in his introduction world tour cinematic, which doesn't have the spice. Just wait for Terry's victory screen, and that'll be what everybody references, and it's gonna look fucking amazing.
Or his game faces in the loading screen.
Sure,
that's what I'm
supers
looking for.
and shit.
Ooh.
Yes, that kind of shit.
Yeah, but just like moving it with a control stick, like, you know, there's some funny faces in there, but most of them still look cool. Like, you know, they look well modeled. So that'd be interesting.
That stuff always looks good on the whole roster. You know, it's like the in-game character face that they use for story mode stuff doesn't look particularly great. There's like different models of faces for the characters. I swear to God. So Terry will look good. Just wait for supers and his faces and ending screen.
Let's put a bet down, gentlemen. Since gameplay is going to actually be shown, that means a gameplay trailer must be shown at some point. It'd be weird to have full gameplay of them and then later have the, you know, gameplay trailer. And in the gameplay trailers, they always show the second costume now. Will it be Garo?
100%.
Or will 100%?
100%.
I don't think it's Garo.
What do we think it's going to be?
I feel like Garo's costume 3.
Okay, so I mean, what I'm saying is, what's costume 2?
Because 2 is always nostalgic costume. That's what it's always labeled as.
Just a brand new outfit.
No, but costume 2 is always labeled as nostalgic.
Yeah, I know. I just think for this one,
he's just doubling down on it.
Looks. We have like Denim Terry again from KOF 14, and then KOF's Classic and Gauro Terry. We have to come up with a new Capcom Terry, right? Is what you're saying?
It might be just a Capcom Terry.
Now, to be fair, it's not always nostalgic because new characters in Street Fighter 6 don't have a nostalgic costume because they're new. So it's like, Aki or Kimberly, like they have the more streetwear stuff, right? So I could see them maybe not doing that, but at the same time, it's like, like Max said, like it's got to be Garo and Terry.
He doesn't have many other designs.
What if Terry is wearing Andy's outfit?
What if Terry is wearing Mai's outfit and Mai is wearing Terry's outfit?
But it's like it's just straight up Terry's outfit, or it's the Femme Terry outfit.
There's the answer. And there is the answer. Costume 3, 100% should be SNK Heroine's Terry.
Ooh.
For Terry.
Yes, for Terry. Like, he's a chick.
Yes, absolutely. Yeah, no. It's just Terry. He's just wearing the Daisy Dukes.
No. I mean, actual Femme Terry got transformed into a chick. I want that.
Yeah. And like, so canon-wise, what happens there? Does Dimitri come out and do Midnight Bliss every time?
No, it's Sandy McFucks-a-lot, whatever the hell his name was from KOF 14.
Sandy McFucks-a-lot.
Yeah, that's the guy that reason that'll happen.
Alice, you mean, right?
Alice?
Oh, no, Alice. Sandy. The shadow guy.
Yeah, Sandy McFucks-a-lot.
Yeah. I thought you meant Alice, the Fatal Fury fangirl from KOF 14.
Yeah, the whole story of that SNK Heroines game or whatever is because of
Sandy McFucks-a-lot. Yeah, it is a big perv or whatever. What's the name of the Sen guy from KOF 14? 15?
Well, I thought it was Sandy McFucks-a-lot. I think we're just
No, but what's it? Sukri? Something like that?
I know who you're talking about. Kukri.
Kukri, there you go.
Sandy McFucks-a-lot.
Fucks-a-lot. So, okay. So yeah, looking forward to that gameplay stuff.
They also
very
they also announced a Terry demo is coming out too.
Really?
Shut up.
Yeah, Terry Bogard demo. Later, Event Hubs reported that there's going to be a demo playable for Terry Bogard.
Holy shit, I didn't know that.
But like at Gamescom or something that anyone can download?
I think it's something that we download.
I mean, if it was at Gamescom, that would make sense, but an actual character demo would be something else.
Because that'd be the first time they ever even do anything remotely like that.
I mean, they had the Street Fighter 6 demo, but I think this is like a Terry demo where maybe you just only play Terry.
But so then you just download a demo where the only character is Terry?
Maybe. I don't know, but that's what Event Hubs did report. So I'm kind of curious on like when that demo would pop out, maybe after Gamescom possibly.
Okay. I mean, I guess like since this is a pretty momentous, first guest character in like 40 years of Street Fighter history, maybe they're just like, we really want people to check it out.
Yeah, possibly, right?
But yeah, no, that's nuts. So we'll see if that actually like it takes place because it's still incredible to me. We missed out on the story last week. Bleach Rebirth of Souls, which we always assumed was going to be a straight up arena fighter, kind of really isn't. It's like a full 3D sword fighting game where everyone's just zooming in and doing some crazy shit. The gameplay actually looks really sick and has full English VO, and I'm assuming into Japanese as well. But I was like kind of impressed by this from the makers of Senran Kagura. I was kind of blown away by this gameplay stuff. Have you guys seen it?
Yeah, I've been watching a lot of the Bleach stuff just because I'm a fan of Bleach. So for me, I'm personally gonna get the game just because like it's fan service. But I don't really expect anything like competitive for it. But yeah, it's just like one of my favorite animes of all time. So I'm gonna get it easily.
Once I saw like what the default camera angle was for the game and it favors player one, I was like, all right, this is what it is. This is like an arena.
Oh, it really does.
Game.
I didn't even notice that. That looked pretty even to me. But is there a slight camera skew on the first player?
It's an arena game.
Yeah.
Oh.
It might be just like that from like online. Like if you play online, it probably won't be like that.
No, it won't because you're always going to be favored. But like the way you have to play the game would be through split screen.
Yeah, for sure.
If it was local.
Okay. I kind of see that. There is a slight camera skew that the first player like does have. It kind of reminds me of Tournament of Legends on the Wii. big ups to the two people that are pumping their hands in the air right now. It's neither Max nor Justin, but uh, so after that, I did want to talk about this really briefly, is because it's weird. Street Fighter 6's Samba Slam event, which kicked off a little while ago. What is a Samba Slam event? I don't know. It just seems like an excuse to get Muscle Bomber / Saturday Night Slam Masters content in there. So this makes the first time Muscle Bomber / Saturday Night Slam Masters, the arcade version, is available to play since I think the Capcom Arcade Stadium had one of them.
Yeah, Capcom Arcade Stadium had it.
Yeah, and like I wish these would be a bit more readily available. I don't know why it wasn't in the fighting game collection or even the beam up collection if you could somehow squeeze it in there, even though thematically it wouldn't make much sense. But yeah, some Saturday Night Slam Masters stuff in there, but it's also Samba Summer. So I don't think they quite knew what they were going to do for the summer event. Yeah. So just, Summer Slam. Maybe they were planning something to do with Summer Slam.
It just might have been a mash, I think, at that point.
I think so too.
And also they're trying to promote like their sushi collaboration in Japan with Sushiro, which is a major chain there. And it's really cool because like I see a lot of Japanese players post their times at Sushiro and they get like really cool Street Fighter 6 swag. So I think they're trying to push that in the game, even though like majority of people probably don't know what Sushiro is.
Probably not. But I guess, maybe they thought, Saturday Night Slam Masters, some people might remember that. So there's like a little bit for everyone, kind of, I guess.
Yeah, I guess so.
I'd love a character from Saturday Night Slam Masters to make their way into Street Fighter.
That'd be pretty cool.
I'll never forget that rumor from like years and years ago that Yoshinori Ono was going to release a wrestling fighting game circa like 2010, 2011. It's like one of those Capcom rumor mill things, like, oh, he's bringing back Saturday Night Slam Masters. Yeah. It's going to have a bunch of old characters. And
it was one of the Ono promises.
Wait, did he actually say this, or you just...
This is lump it with Darkstalkers.
Yeah. Right, okay. But Darkstalkers, there's this shred of evidence in here. I'm not even sure if Ono actually talked about this project, or someone just said, he's at the head of this, supposedly. Like, put El Fuerte in there, Zangief, Alex. I'm like, yes, I would love that. Like, everything that's a rumor, I'm like, I want that. When it was going to be that F-Zero and Star Fox game, and I was like, I want that. Never turns out to be true. And what I really didn't expect to turn out to be true, much to Max's chagrin when he's like in the middle of streaming, and I'm like, dude, Billy Kane has a trailer. Go watch it now. And everyone in chat is like, dude, watch the Billy Kane. And you're like, I'll watch it. There's lots of time. It's just farm Billy engagement Kane. That way. That's why you're a pro. That's why you've been in this business for 15 years. So, first new, or rather old, Fatal Fury character being brought back into the timeline of Garou. So he's very 2000s, because remember, City of the Wolves takes place in the far, far future of 2009. So Billy's weird gunner glasses, and he doesn't know what to wear, so he wore something of all of his eras. It's pretty cool to see him strangely in Freeman's stage from Garou. Just makes its return.
Yeah, it was funny, right? So I'm like, wait, this is the old Garou stage here. This is weird.
I'm not sure if it's like, are they actually going to have enough stages for each character, or is it just like these are just locations in Second Southtown where like, no one has their own, because we haven't seen one that's like specifically Terry, maybe the garage, but I think that's more of a Rock thing. Speaking of which, did you guys know that Rock Howard is in City of the Wolves? There was a trailer for him and everything. Right?
Yeah, I just saw that trailer. It was really amazing.
Yeah, I played him several times over the past year, and I would never thought it was real. I thought like, oh, so this is all bullshit. Oh, but now there's a trailer, so we're good.
I get it. Big ups to Hell Pockets for being like, listen, we know he's in the game, but they want to do the full trailers for everybody.
They did show off some pretty interesting shit. Like there was some special to special cancels that I did not think of, where Rock does a jumping overhead, and they canceled the jumping overhead EX into his EX double air fireball, and I was like, didn't think of that. That's new to me.
Fair enough. one of my like very few criticisms playing the game is when I was talking to the SNK guys, I was like, some Hidden Gear level 3s, they look a little, I don't know, like unfinished. And like Rox is one of them. It's just because when he does the power geyser, like you don't see the character.
Oh, it's because it doesn't end on an actual hit.
It doesn't end on an actual hit, but you don't actually see the character that is being hit by the move. You just see the geyser, and it's like it'd be cool to see them like going and like end on a bit more of an impact, and it just kind of feels a little off, especially considering it's like one of the main characters. But I saw that's still the same in the trailer versus when
Terry's
Buster
is the exact
Wolf
same way.
is yeah.
They'd be looking at a tornado.
Yeah, and you don't see like the damage being done. Versus Buster Wolf, which will, by the game's release, will end the world when it finally connects, because it's getting bigger and bigger each time, like we talked about a little while ago. So Billy, it's cool to see him. At the same time, it's like, you know, I'm assuming Mai will be the last character they show. They gotta make people wait.
Mai's not coming.
It's not in the game.
she's a Street Fighter 6 character now.
Yeah. What Justin said is
Terry's a Street Fighter 6 character by that.
Terry's
they're taking
Smash
out
as
Terry.
well,
There's no trailer yet, dude.
No trailer. He's not a character.
There's no Terry trailer, so he's not.
Like, remember, Justin, specifically, SNK almost went out of business because KOF 12 did not have Mai in it, and people,
that was the reason.
It was no Mai, no buy was trending worldwide.
Well, we got
that was the reason.
Well, specifically,
but we got we got Miss B though. Miss B can carry.
I'd love if she could. I'd love it if she could.
You don't
think
see
she
that
can.
counter. She hits you with her ass. Literally,
I've seen it.
She just perks it up. It's like bam, and Rock's like,
right. But that's the A of TNA. You need the T part 2, which Mai is there to provide.
Okay. I you're spitting. All right, I get it.
It's a 2-pronged attack. Like, so you have to have somebody else.
I'm gonna let you cook. All right.
But yeah, so this is the first we've seen of an aged up character that we haven't seen in Garo's timeline. So yeah, want to see Mai, Andy, and Joe, maybe a few others. So it was nice to get a little peek at it, and it's weird hearing Billy with an actual English accent in English, outside of like what KOF Maximum Impact 2, I think he was in.
You know what was crazy about that Billy Kane trailer? They released it literally a few days after Evo.
A few days, like what?
And
3
I'm just
days,
like,
something.
Yeah, and I'm just like, why wouldn't you just release it during Evo?
Because we've had Evo announcements or big tournament announcements where they actually show more than one character. It's like Tekken does that often, right? So
yeah,
well, why not just show them right after Kevin Ryan?
I guess maybe they're pushing SVC like hard. That's why, I guess.
Yeah, that's true. And this will also total up City of the Wolves. 51% of all the characters are blonde now on the current roster. Yeah. Terry, Rock, Billy, Kevin, Jenny.
Street Fighter 5-2.
Yeah.
Blonde eyes, blonde hair, blue eyes is just too strong.
It's because it's like all Americans, right?
It's 99% of my marketability.
But Billy. That's why so many characters wind up being you or being modded into you. So kind of final thing. Max, have you been spending most of your adult life working on a particular project in the last couple of months?
I haven't slept in a month.
About it? Yeah.
I just stay awake all night. All I do is I just have lunch breaks and minor family breaks. Do I look tired? I feel tired.
You don't look tired, so that's
do I not?
good.
Yeah. Thank you. That means a lot.
You look awake.
So, what are we talking about?
Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite and Beyond.
Oh, yeah, that I'm very tired.
I gave you a heads up on this too.
I'm very tired.
You are tired, yeah.
So, yeah, by the time this podcast goes out, things will be revealed. So I'll just give you guys some mega spoilers. We're having a demo at the time of this recording tomorrow, Friday at 8. And we have been cramming over the past week. I've pretty much been cramming ever since I got back from Evo. for this demo because I really, really wanted to do a pre-Evo demo and just wasn't working out. And then I had to focus heavily on Evo. And that was taking up a big part of my mindscape. And then I got sick when I came back, so I just spent most of my time sick working on this stuff. And and not streaming. I'm down to like 4 to 5 days streaming a week on average now, which has been not what I usually do. Just because I need time. Like I just can't. I need time to do this stuff. So anyway, I've been finalizing characters. So Infinite and Beyond's going to get a big demo. Almost, I think every character but 3 or 4, I have done a personal pass in Unreal Engine and done mega changes for every single character, where it's like our artists do one side where they like flatten out the characters and get them to not look weirdly hyper realistic, give them a flat tone base. And then I take it into Unreal and I start fixing all the problems because shadow and all this stuff and lighting and rim lighting and everything. Characters' mouths are just glowing. So I learned how to do all that. I've been working in Unreal Editor for the past like month and a half, almost 2 months now, and in Photoshop directly. And it's such a painstaking process. It's insane. Every single part of like I said, every character but 4 right now. I've literally handcrafted like and finely tuned every part of their visual element over the past month. And made it like, oh, so their colors, you get it in the game, and they don't really look like the character yet. It's like Mega Man X was either too dark or too light, and all that kind of stuff. And
so, can I stop you there because it's like the screenshot of X is like that is X.
Thank you.
Like so perfectly done in 3D. Like that looks like it should be from an official game.
Thank you.
And the Infinite version of X, just the vanilla one, like. All of his components are there. He just looks wrong.
He looks wrong. He looks off.
He looks wrong.
That's exactly it.
And this is perfect.
That's sort of my, as like director / art director of this whole project, that's sort of my mindscape, is that I want to bring this game back to a visual element that reminds you of MVC1 and Marvel Superheroes versus Street Fighter, not X-Men versus Street Fighter. It's kind of different. Because MVC1 and MSH VSF have these visual elements that I really like. So we're trying to keep it in that space. And also the game's kind of similar to those, you know, MVCI is a 2v2.
Yeah.
Those are back in the 2v2 era. So I think it sort of just naturally fits. But yeah, X is a good example. And it's like finding X. And I this is me for every single, finding Spencer, finding Jetta, finding Strider. It's like we get these characters and you get them in game and it's just like, something, they're good. Don't get me wrong. Like the work that like Fooch and Moo Cartoons and Xeno, who are the main artists on the project, the texture artists, they get the character in there, and once it goes through all the goddamn engine post-processing that we can't entirely control, they just look different in game. So that's my job. Is that okay? Now I got to go back and finely tune. I'm editing a PSD. I'm uploading, editing a PSD, uploading. I do that for about 12 hours, and then I found X. And it was like, whew, we got him. We got him. And, you know, and then it's like finely tuning details, drawing lines on the characters in spots where they should be, giving him his anime eyes back, all that kind of stuff, masking out goofy, like shading that's happening under his helmet and around his head and his chin, just because this game was not designed to run cell shading. That has been my job over the past month. So it's gotten to a point where it's really cool, where it's like, you know, I understand the engine enough and have been working enough in this, where Strider's scarf was just disappearing one day. And I was like, what the fuck happened?
Can't have that.
It was like
not have it disappear.
And then as soon as it would go up, it would just vanish. And I'm like, where the fuck did it go? So something to do with our outlines and stuff, because if you guys are not tuning in tomorrow, just get ready for a video that follows up later. The game looks insanely different because we completely rewrote how our outline and inner outline process works on our render plate. So it is very different, and it took a long time for us to get to this spot. So stay tuned. No one's actually seen the game really look like this running in motion yet, and we have not recorded video of it. So that's one thing we're showing off. Big visual changes, and most of the roster is ready to go. Next thing we're showing off, interface. Battle UI is done. Or Battle UI is about 95%. There's some elements that need to be fixed, like the fight, the KO, that kind of stuff. But the functionality, we have functional UI with new elements on the bottom of the screen and the top of the screen. All the art isn't done because we have new character portraits and all that kind of stuff, but we'll be showing that off, a functional brand new UI for MVCI. And on top of that, we have some surprises. Captain America, Thor, and Rocket Raccoon are from
Captain America,
not Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite. Their models have been scrapped.
But because Captain America's Infinite model is unsalvageable. I don't care what
trash.
You cannot fix that model.
It's balls trash.
Then what?
So that was a decision we made very early on, and we were scouring the internet for decent Cap models, and luckily there's another game that is very helpful, that is close enough in art style, and it's Fortnite.
I was gonna say I want to guess, and I was gonna say like Marvel Ultimate Alliance 2.
No, it's actually Marvel Ultimate Alliance 3. That is the answer. So there's only 2 games. It's pretty much Fortnite or MUA 3. So the problem
because they're all cell shaded, right? Their models are cell shaded in that game.
No,
or kind
not
of
the same way that we are. So long story short, yeah, we get it, and they look like shit. And it's like, oh, well, great. So the model still has to go through the exact same process. Also, their textures are 1/4 the size they need to be. So that all needs to get completely redrawn. And I ran into a problem with Thor where he was just looking fucking weird, and I just couldn't get his texture mapping to work correctly, and it wasn't wrapping around the polys right. And I bumped up the resolution size, caused all these other problems on the rig, but I was like, oh, I fixed it. Oh, fuck. So Thor started looking pretty good. Same thing with Cap, same thing with Rocket Raccoon. And I wasn't the person doing the rigging. I'm not a modeler. I don't do rigging. That was on Xeno. That was on Moo Cartoons and Fooch. They're the ones that are doing that. They get the character like in the engine functioning. And then it's up to me to like find all the crazy stuff. Like all their eyelids are fucked up. Like
eyelids
they'll look all jacked up. So we're still polishing all that kind of stuff. I have to identify all that, figure out why it's doing that. But yeah, like they're looking pretty good. I want you guys to see Captain America. I'm really curious how people feel like on classic Cap, because I'm going back to old school Capcom colors. Ooh. And that is a goal. We're getting the fuck away from movie colors, which is what Marvel 3 and Marvel Infinite did. So I'm getting the fuck away from movie colors.
Because classic Cap is the most vibrant of blues.
Get ready.
Like okay.
So those 3 characters are completely new models. Rocket Raccoon, Captain America, and Thor. And maybe more in the future, but we'll see. The outside of that, we have new music. Alex Mukala did a new Ultron theme for us and a new Captain Marvel theme, completely new.
Nice.
And they're fucking amazing. Little V has joined the roster, and Little V has done our main menu, main theme for Beyond, and most of the character select theme. So we need some transitional elements in the character select theme, like a starting bridge and an outro that leads into the versus screen. But the theme itself is compiled and will be in the demo to show off.
When did Little V start up?
About a month and a half ago.
So about a month and a half ago, I remember asking him like, "Hey, can you do a little thing?" And he's like, I'm just starting a thing with Max. And I go, okay, yeah, let me know when you're done. And I was thinking, I wonder what that was. And
He's
I did not think it was
because he has to make his videos and stuff all the time too.
Yeah,
you know,
for sure.
Anyway.
But I wondered what it was, but I didn't think, even though you had like publicly said, like, you know, I'm working on this, I didn't think it was Marvel. But yeah, very good call.
Yeah. Also, we have some stage updates. I don't know if we have a new stage that is being added to the game. And I don't know if it's going to be in a presentable format just yet, but an actual brand new stage to Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite. These things are fucking hard. And here's the problem with stages. They're huge. Like, we're talking like
because
hundreds of megabytes, like not hundreds of gigabytes, but like several gigabytes. And where it's a problem with a mod where it's like, oh, now that is 2/3 the size of our whole mod. Our mod was like a gig before, and it jumps to 3 gigs with one stage. It's like, okay, so this is kind of a problem. So anyway, we have an update to our classic training stage, which is like a Marvel 2 style. It looks a lot better now, and we might be able to show off a new stage, but I don't know. I think that might be it. I'm probably forgetting several things. But our 2v2 mode, we're gonna take it online through Parsec. I'm gonna let people play it. So
nice.
I'm forgetting about gameplay changes. Oh shit. So there's several gameplay changes and refinements. We're not turning this into a new game. I like Marvel Infinite, right? So we're just making Marvel Infinite smarter. That's like the whole point. We're just like changing tag is 2 frames slower, which allows it to actually be punished in some situations. But if you're anybody else that's played the game, you'll not notice any difference.
Nice.
And Thanos has gained the entire power of the Infinity Gauntlet. That's all I'm saying.
Oh, that's so hype.
That's all I'll say.
That seems dangerous. Don't give him all that power.
He shouldn't have that much power, right?
Don't worry. It didn't work too well with him in the other Marvel game, so.
That's all I'll say. So yeah, that's our demo's going to be going up pretty soon. There'll be a big YouTube compilation in the near future.
Nice.
Seems like, I don't know, in the future, maybe you should make more fighting games, like make that your career. You seem to know some stuff about it.
I don't know if this is so much time, Matt. This is so.
And having worked on a game myself and in a much smaller capacity than what you're doing, I can emphasize.
Bro, 24 people. We actually got a credits listing. 24 people are working on this thing, and I'm managing technically all of it. I
thought it was like 6 or 7 at the most. Damn. Okay.
24.
Okay.
Yeah, we have a credit. It actually bugs me that Event Hubs posted about this, and they said 2 people, and like Max is helping with social media, and I'm like, there's some misconceptions going on here. Like this is not. Rin was the person that started the project. She made the editor, and I was working with her to like, oh, can we do something with this? But that was like the first few weeks. So the last month, 2.5 months have been a massive group effort across the scope of all stages, music, audio, art, like all this stuff, management. We literally have managers because there's too many people. Budget allocation, bro, it's crazy.
Well, that's why, having a stream like this is good, because you can get all the information out in one like handy spot, and anyone can watch it. And then hopefully the credit list will be updated from then on whenever there's stories about this. Have you thought about possibly remastering the Infinity Stones, physical versions, and shipping them out to people? I think you can handle that.
Yes.
You should consider it.
To everybody that bought MVCI, I am going to go to their house and physically shit a brand new Infinity Gem.
There you go, confirmed.
But it'll be anywhere between 1 to 6 gems per person. Perfectly clean, perfectly shiny, beautiful Infinity Gems. They're not going to look like circle eggs. They're going to be rocky and sort of like gravelly. But every single person. I asked everybody that bought MVCI to make a line.
On the 2XKO podcast, we have confirmed that Max will be doing this, so look forward to that in the future.
The 2XKO podcast? Yes, my favorite podcast.